Okay, and I am back for another Follow the Sketch February, and today is going to be a pretty simple layout. It's just about my brave little boy going in for a little bit of tooth surgery. Yeah, he's had an issue since he could walk. Let's just say that. So I do have this sticker sheet on hand just because I'm not sure if I want to use some of these teeny tiny little elements. Depending on how plain Jane the layout looks by the time that I'm done putting it together with the elements that I've kind of sort of picked out. So what I did was I took this stamp set, it's called Magical Day from Stampin' Up, and I did 2 dragons, a knight, and a wizard. And I'm not very good at coloring, like, at all. So my son did the wizard, the one that is pictured here. He did the little wizard guy. And then I did 2 dragons and a knight because I want to take this dragon and I want to make him 2-headed. So I want to try to go something like this and cut this part off. And so then that way I have a 2-headed dragon, because the dragon that he is holding is 2-headed. You can't really see it very well. Yeah, I guess you can. You can see that he's 2-headed. So I kind of wanted to mimic that a little bit. And then I picked up 2 stickers from that sticker sheet that I just showed you. It says Be Brave and then Dragon Breath, because he is getting dental work done. I've got a scrap from my 6x6 papers that I'm positive you guys are starting to get annoyed with seeing. I also have a really, really long title because, again, I'm just going to let the papers do all the work for me. But in case you guys are not How to Train a Dragon fans, this dragon is from How to Train a Dragon, and its name is Barf and Belch. So I wanted the title to be Barf and Belch, but then I kind of sort of thought, well, that's just a bad title. So it says, Fear not, Barf and Belch are keeping their eyes open. So that way he doesn't have to. So yeah, it was adorable. This is one of many trips to the dentist, and they started letting him bring blankets and just all sorts of stuff. They're so great. Just to let you know, they're just awesome people. So anyways, I have 2 photos instead of, did I show you guys the sketch yet? Have I showed you guys the sketch? Here is the sketch. And even the sketch is plain Jane. It's got a little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit down here. So I mostly looked at the papers and the photos when I was deciding what to do with these, with this layout. So that is where I'm at, and the papers that I picked are also something close to Magical Day, so they match the stamp set to a T. And I picked out these 4 papers. So here's the knights and the dragon. So it does, I mean, they match. Here's the dragon, and then somewhere's the knight. Over here somewhere's. Anyways, they match absolutely perfect. But I was thinking about having this as my base. It is kind of busy for me, but if you notice, it's got this fleur-de-lis and these little sparkle bits, just like this one from Photo Play has. So it's got the fleur-de-lis and some sparkle bits. So that's why I was thinking maybe I wanted some more of that. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing. These are the back sides, by the way, of the papers. I am going to be using this one twice. So I am just basically going to stick with the sketch to a T and get going. All right, let's see what I can do. So I do have to be honest that all of this pattern on pattern on pattern is very intimidating to me. So I was really stepping out of my comfort zone when I created this layout. One of the things that I wanted is I knew I didn't want my photos to be the exact same size. So I'm just trimming them down, trying to figure out, how much is too much, that sort of thing. And I went ahead and backed my photos with the blue paper, the blue print. I figured that that was the closest thing that I had to a solid other than the purple one, but the blue one kind of matched a little bit better because of all the blue that was in the photos. Anyways, I just took the photos kind of the way that I wanted them on the layout and used my ruler to guesstimate how big all of my squares are going to be. And so I figured out how big I wanted my trees to be. Now we're doing the clouds, and then I will do the exact same thing with the purple paper. I'm actually doing the clouds and the purple paper at the same exact time because it's the same sheet, and I wanted to make sure that one, could I do it in one cut, and two, do I need to be like a little bit more strategic as to how I cut the paper? So yeah, it's the things that go through my brain. I swear I make things harder than they need to be. So I'm just trying to make sure that 3 inches was tall enough. It wasn't too tall, is 2.5 too short, that sort of thing. I wanted the purple paper to be seen, but I did not want it to be like in your face, that sort of thing. So I'm just laying everything out to make sure that I had enough room for that little bottom cluster that is in the sketch. And I really wanted to use this scrap of gray because there's a lot of gray in the papers. And then I had this scrap of blue because the blue isn't really seen. And so I thought that I'd bring it in and have a little blue piece as well. So now I'm going to manipulate my dragons to make them two-headed. And basically what I do is I take the solid dragon that's going to be like the up front image, and where I want to add pieces, I need to cut his white border off. Then that way, when I add the other dragon has a white border as well. And so then it looks like all one solid dragon when you cut away the white border. Now, after I threw away the other half of the dragon that I added the head to, I realized that that his stuffed animal had 2 tails as well. So I went ahead and I added the 2 tails, and I cut off too much of the white border. And so it looks kind of weird. So what I did was I fussy cut out the white border that the die cut left, leaving just a teeny tiny little border so it wasn't as obvious. But I'm going to take that little scrap of the second dragon and put it behind the 2-headed dragon that I made to finish off that white border. I know that it probably wouldn't have been noticeable, and I would have been the only one that even realized that it was there, but I just wanted a solid image. I wanted it to look like I made one whole image, and I felt like I did that. He is so cute. I wished I would have put him forward a little bit so you guys could see him. I apologize about that. I'm just checking the sticker sheet one more time, making sure that there is nothing that I wanted to add. But once I put all my stuff on this really uber busy background, it's like, oh, I have no room for anything. I was debating of whether or not to even use that busy background because it was so holy cow busy. I just, the whole time I'm making this layout, I'm like, oh, do I like it? I want to use it. So I feel like I'm forcing myself to finish this and see it to the end to see if I like it. And yeah, we'll see if I like it or not, but I'm going to keep going. I really am. It's just one of those things where, I've had this paper in my stash for, I want to say a couple years now. And, it's so adorable. I wanted to use it. I have lots and lots of photos that actually involve dragons. Granted, they're not the exact, knights and princess dragons, but they do involve dragons. And so I want to get them scrapped. So every time I see a dragon paper, I snatch it up, even though most of them are knights and dragons and princesses and stuff. But I still, it's dragons. I want to use it. So just putting my 2-headed dragon image down at the bottom. I did pop it up so that way it was a little bit more, away from the printed paper and visible, I guess I should say, up front and center. And then I went ahead and put the title or portion of the title down. Now, I don't know about you guys, but these puffy stickers, they're my new favorite. I didn't realize they were puffy, to be honest, until I started taking them off my wax sheet. And they are called Grove, Grove. And I absolutely love the way they feel, love the way they come off the carrier sheet. Oh, and guess what? They're sticky. Isn't that weird? Anyways, while I was bragging about this really awesome alpha set, I went ahead and put the rest of the title on. I popped up my knight, and now I'm popping up my wizard. And then as I'm putting the wizard on the paper, I realized that he needs a crystal ball because of the way that his hand is being held. He just needed a crystal ball. So I had these awesome 49 in Market. They call them pebbles, but they've always looked like water droplets to me. So I went and pulled them out of my stash and brought them into the layout, and just checking. I'm feeling those alphas again because they are my favorite. Here's where I decided that the print on print was too busy for me. And I apologize if you guys can hear my dog walking around. He always wants out at the awkward time of the recording, and I will be right back. Sorry. So sorry about that. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking this scrap and putting small little strips. I'm cutting it up into small little strips so that way I can like slightly put some of it behind the print, and then it'll break up the pattern on pattern. So this is it's a print, but it's read as a solid print. And so I am able to put it behind my paper, and then it kind of lifts that paper up off of the other print. And so I really like how this works, and I'm glad that I did it, because now it breaks up that eye of seeing print on print on print, because it's going to read it as a solid and give it that separation or dimension from the other prints. So I am glad that I already said it, but I'm glad that I did this part of, as painful as it was, I'm glad that I did this. Now, I was going to put a green behind the clouds, and I thought, no, I don't really like that very much. My son came in to talk to me for a minute, and then I went through my scraps again, and I couldn't find a color that I liked. I just kind of was at a standstill, basically. So I'm going to stop it right there, but I do end up going into my solid 6x6 and put a border behind the clouds. And I think that it looks 10 times better. It's not posted in the pictures. I apologize about that because I just did it as I was putting the layout away. I was like, I can't leave it like that. It just looks lost. And so here it is. Make sure you check out the Scrapping Reflections Facebook group to see everyone else's take on this sketch. There's the picture of Barf and Belch. It is so cute. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, and thanks for watching.